Now at 9, a new campus resource helping students when they may need it most. We've got the details in moments.
Plus, students and members of the Muncie community gathered at the Delaware County building Saturday to share stories and spread empowerment.
Rainy conditions today, and those are expected to continue. More on that later on.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
We begin tonight with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi issuing a deadline for stimulus bill negotiations. Good evening, I'm Tyler Brummett.
And I'm Catherine Segal. Now, the bill could help several millions of struggling Americans, and Pelosi is setting a 48-hour deadline to approve it before the election.
And a lot talked about with this today. Pelosi said negotiations with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin would still continue after tomorrow if a deal isn't reached, but it wouldn't get done before Election Day.
48 only relates to if we want to get it done before the election, which we do.
Well, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, so which we do. But we're saying to them, we have to freeze the design on some of these things. Are we going with it or not? And what is the language? I'm optimistic.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced there will be 2 votes this week, one Tuesday and the other Wednesday, but Democrats are expected to block McConnell's effort because they're pushing for a larger deal.
Of course, we'll keep you posted. Meanwhile, back here in Indiana, in the race for governor tonight, the Indiana gubernatorial debate set for tomorrow has been changed to a virtual format. Organizers say the change was made as a safety measure because of COVID-19. The Indiana Debate Commission says all candidates will be in person at the WFYI studio in Indianapolis. However, they will all be in separate spaces during the hour-long debate, including the moderator, Republican Governor Eric Holcomb, Democrat Woody Myers, and Libertarian candidate Donald Rainwater will face off at 7 o'clock. NewsLink Indiana will bring you the very latest tomorrow night at 9.
And speaking of debates, a new rule has been adopted by the Debate Commission that will allow muting mics. This will make sure that Trump and Biden will have 2 minutes of uninterrupted time per question. The two will go head-to-head in their final debate on Thursday. This follows both Biden and Trump appearing on town halls that replaced the second scheduled debate.
Turning now to your coronavirus headlines here on this Monday. Cases of COVID-19 are on the rise in most states, and some health experts say it could be a while before that trend comes to an end. John Lawrence tells us what the experts are saying tonight.
The whole scary part about this is that we haven't even yet started flu season.
The United States is averaging at least 55,000 new known COVID-19 cases per day. That's more than a 60% hike since mid-September.
I'm extremely worried, and epidemiologists have been predicting a fall spike for a long time.
As of Sunday, only 2 states, Missouri and Vermont, are showing at least a 10% drop in new cases.
When you have people congregating en masse, not wearing masks, not doing physical distancing, barely using hand sanitizer, those are the perfect conditions in which you get the spread of the coronavirus from one person to another.
Despite the increase in cases and deaths, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top infectious disease expert in the nation, does not want to close down the country again.
Put shutdown away and say, we're going to use public health measures to help us safely get to where we want to go.
Some state leaders are pushing new restrictions while vaccine research and testing continues.
Most Americans are going to be getting vaccinated in 2021. And we're probably looking at a March, April, if things go very well, time frame when let's say a large proportion of American people get access to vaccines.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
According to CNN's review of Census Bureau population data, Connecticut and New Jersey seem to have reached the qualifications needed for their own travel restrictions, requiring out-of-state travelers to self-quarantine for 14 days.
The daily average for deaths related to COVID-19 in Indiana has more than doubled in less than a month. Indiana's 7-day average of COVID-19 deaths reached 19 as of Friday. That is up from an average of 9 deaths on September 22nd, which was right before Governor Eric Holcomb made the decision to move Indiana into Stage 5 of reopening. Right now, the death toll for Indiana is at 3,727.
Meanwhile, here on Ball State's campus, there have been 4 new positive cases reported in the past 24 hours through outside sources that are outside of IU Health. The dashboard says there are an estimated 49 total active cases on campus and an estimated 1,036 recoveries from the virus, a total of 1,000 85 positive cases have been reported since the dashboard launched on August 17th. And with the pandemic comes tons of stress, as we all know, and obstacles that people are facing in their everyday lives. But one new addition to campus can help students solve some of their problems.
And NewsLink Indiana's Amelia Cisna is live in the newsroom tonight to help us with what it is. Amelia?
Good evening, Catherine and Tyler. Cardinals now have a way to seek out advice from a mental health professional with little paperwork and no long-term commitment.
Ball State Counseling Center offers repeated counseling sessions for those who need it, but wanted to add a service that helped students who face difficulties that may not warrant multiple meetings. Today, the Counseling Center began accepting calls for their new service called Let's Talk. Let's Talk allows Ball State students to speak to a counselor for 20 minutes about a particular issue over the phone, such as test anxiety or conflicts with a roommate. However, Associate Director of Clinical Services Timothy Hess says it does not replace regular counseling sessions or crisis services.
We wanted something for students who may not necessarily have a mental health diagnosis or concern, but still would love to chat. And we wanted something that was accessible with less barriers.
If a student finds that they may benefit from regular counseling sessions while using Let's Talk, they can call the Counseling Center for further information. The Counseling Center is working to reach more students at Ball State outside of regularly scheduled appointments. Let's Talk is helping them achieve that goal.
We're really looking at what are ways we can support student mental health and student resilience broadly on campus for all students who go to Ball State, and kind of Let's Talk is one piece in that puzzle.
The Counseling Center has already scheduled some Let's Talk sessions for the coming week. Call the Counseling Center at 765-285-1736 if you would like to schedule a session. And for mental health emergencies, call 911 or the suicide hotline at 988. Live in the newsroom, Amelia Cisna, NewsLink Indiana.
All right, Amelia, thank you so much. The Counseling Center is also partially reopening their resource and relaxation room while making proper COVID-19 accommodations. For a complete list of current Counseling Center services, you can go to ballstatedaily.com. Also tonight, an Indiana agency is helping people who are behind on rent because of COVID-19. Indiana's rental assistance portal is helping accept applications for a program that provides renters with up to 6 months of funding to help cover monthly payments. The Indiana Housing Authority has dedicated $15 million in federal housing and urban development funding to help people who are at a higher risk of being homeless. More information can be found at indianahousingnow.org.
A Westfield man is dead after a two-car crash that closed all southbound lanes on Interstate 69 today for roughly 2 hours. 50-year-old Lee Ingles was driving when his car was hit by another vehicle. He veered into a ditch where his car caught fire. The crash also caused the left northbound lane to be closed as well. Indiana State Police says the crash happened near the 227-mile marker in Madison County around 5 this evening. The investigation and cleanup was completed around 7 p.m., but traffic was still blocked up from the closures.
And back here in Muncie, Ball State students are still finding ways to use their voice even in the middle of a pandemic, Catherine.
Yes, and NewsLink Indiana's Grace Bankowski tells us why some students were marching outside the Delaware County building Saturday.
Even amidst the pandemic and navigating through a modified school year, Ball State students are still finding ways to use their voice in Muncie.
Since I've started college, I've definitely tried to educate myself more on some issues that I was aware of but didn't really know the facts behind.
The Women's March took place Saturday afternoon at the Delaware County building. Originally set to take place on Ball State's campus, the march sparked the interest of BSU students. They didn't let the change of location get in their way of participating.
So I'm actually in the Ball State Democrats, so they kind of talked about it at our last meeting, so I found out for that, and then my friend also read about it online.
The march was made possible by organizer Amy Robertson West, giving students as well as community members a platform to get involved.
To unify our community and to talk about the struggles of the last 4 years in a truthful, meaningful way.
Taking into account COVID-19 guidelines, the march was held at one location, where speakers shared stories, sang, and discussed the importance of the event, leaving this student hopeful for the future.
I hope that it empowers other women to speak up about their rights, because I know whenever I see marches like this that are peaceful, it's really empowering.
In Muncie, Grace Bankowski, NewsLink Indiana.
And we've got more information on the story online at ballstatedaily.com. And as we move on to the weather, we saw there in some of Grace's video, people had to bundle up. It was cold this weekend, and it seems like it's just going to continue.
Yeah, Tyler, you're right. The weather is just continuing to be cold, and so it's definitely a perfect night for some hot chocolate. Natalie, over to you.
I've really seen chilly conditions today, and we've seen rain move over most of our viewing area today as well, and those rain chances are expected to continue as the night does go on. Temperatures right now, we are at 49 degrees here in Muncie, 48 in Indianapolis, and 51 down in Shelbyville. Overall, we're sitting in that lower 50 to upper 40s range right now. Those temperatures are expected to drop further on as the night does increase. By 1 a.m. tonight, reach 44 degrees. Her low, and those rain chances continuing. And we'll talk more about rain chances later this week in my full weather forecast.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much. Retail sales across the country have been on the rise, why it's happening, and what it means next.
And after more than a year, American Airlines is bringing back the 737 MAX jet. The details in your consumer news after the break.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Some encouraging news on the business front tonight. Retail sales have been increasing for 5 months straight. The Commerce Department reports a nearly 2% increase in U.S. retail sales for September. This includes money online that is spent or in person as well. It's a positive trend with many stores closing and the unemployment rate reaching nearly 8%. Analysts think this may be that people are able to shop more since they are spending less on services. Back in April, retail sales fell to a 7-year low but started bouncing back in July. Though sales are up slightly, foot traffic in stores was down 43% the first week this month.
The TSA says on Sunday it screened more than 1 million people for the first time since the pandemic hit. The number was only about 40% of the 2.6 million people the agency saw on the same day last year, however. Upwards of 2,000 TSA workers, including airport screening officers, have gotten coronavirus. 8 have died. Last week also saw the highest weekly volume for TSA screenings since the pandemic hit, 6.1 million passengers.
And American Airlines plans to return the 737 MAX jet to service in December. The company says it expects Boeing 737 planes to be in the air with passengers by the end of 2020. The Federal Aviation Administration still has to recertify the plane. The aircrafts were grounded back in March of 2019 after 2 crashes killed 346 people. The grounding has cost Boeing at least $18 billion. The new flights will be available for booking as early as October 24th. Customers will also be notified that they will be flying on a MAX. And you know, December is when the 737 will be coming back. And Natalie, I know December weather is not what we want. Fall weather is really what we're having right now, right?
We're seeing fall weather conditions right now, really rainy conditions right now, but we'll talk about more about the rain coming in and the temperature changes in my full forecast.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
And as you can see live on campus at 9:17, the weathers were cold today and a little misty as well. Natalie, what do you have for us?
There were really cooler conditions today, and we had some rain move over our area, and that rain is expected to continue as the night does progress as well. And this rain's really sticking around due to a stationary front that has moved over our area. And as in the name, stationary, it is staying relatively over our area. Moving into tomorrow as well, we're going to have rain chances for that as well. Tonight, we're going to expect 49 degrees outside right now with a northeast wind at 8 miles an hour. Those scattered showers sticking around over our whole viewing region. We can see we're at 49 degrees in Muncie, and mainly over the whole viewing area, we are in the upper 40s to lower 50s right now, staying pretty cool, and we can see we've had quite a temperature change in the past 24 hours. Since this time yesterday, we can see we've gone down 6 degrees in Muncie, 5 degrees in Indianapolis, and a whole total of 9 degrees in Shelbyville as well. We can't see because that stationary front has brought us rain and cooler temperatures today. However, those cooler temperatures aren't going to stick around. However, for tonight, we're expecting to reach a low of 42 degrees with those scattered showers sticking around, moving out a little in tomorrow morning. We're going to track that out right now on Precision Cast. We can see these scattered showers sticking around for our tonight by midnight. As the night progresses, reaching by the time you're leaving for work tomorrow, we mainly have clouds over the viewing area by 8 a.m. Dull in the rain. However, you're going to want to bring your rain umbrella with you anyways, because we're going to have another chance for rain. By the time you're leaving for work tomorrow, it is going to come back into our forecast, so you want to have that umbrella with you. Showing at the temperatures for tomorrow, we can see by 9 a.m. tomorrow we're going to reach 44 degrees, and as the night does continue, we're going to reach the lower 60s by 6 p.m. However, those rain chances are coming back into our forecast, so it may be warmer, but you aren't going to go outside unless you do have that umbrella with you. Taking out the rest of the forecast for tomorrow night into Wednesday, we can see we have some isolated areas of more heavier rain and possibly even a crack of thunder here or two there tomorrow night, moving into your Wednesday morning as well. However, those rain showers are going to be pretty sporadic for your Wednesday morning as well. Going over the next 5 days, we're going to have a trend of precipitation moving through the area. Have that chance of rain for your Tuesday and Wednesday. However, Thursday brings the chance of pretty sunny weather with not a chance of rain. However, rain is coming back into our forecast for Friday and making for Rainy conditions as the week does progress. Looking at temperatures over the next 5 days as well, we're going to reach a high of 78 degrees for your Thursday and 77 for Friday as well. For those days, they may feel a little muggier for this time of year because we are having those rain chances as well. In our mid 7-day forecast, we have that rain chance for your Tuesday and Wednesday. However, come Thursday, it's going to be warm again, bringing rain chances for the weekend again. The Monday, however, rain chances come back in with a high of 58 degrees.
Yeah, I don't like that we have the 40s there. Also, not a big fan of the rain. Will it get better as we go throughout the week?
Wait, those rain chances are really sticking around for us as the week does continue. However, we're going to have a little break this weekend for Saturday and Sunday, but coming back again as we're starting the week on Monday.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much. We know that you'll have a final check of weather coming up here in a bit. And you know, Maction, it's coming back. Basketball season just around the corner, and in moments we're going to hear from the head coach about some of the challenges.
Yeah, and this week begins sectionals for high school football teams in and around Delaware County. We'll set the scene for all local matchups next in sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up-to-the-minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not
What
funny.
on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back. I'm Joey Moore with sports. Ball State basketball is back in action. After the remainder of the season got canceled last year, the Cardinals are ready to hit the court. As far as the players, 4 full-time starters will be returning this year, while Ball State has 7 players that will be playing their 4th and final season of college basketball. Redshirt senior Reggie Jones opened up about what it's like to be a part of the team.
During the summertime, I couldn't wait to get out here. We was communicating. I actually came and I stayed with Myron and Kanai. During the summertime, I didn't have a place to stay and didn't want to be at home. But, you know, they welcomed me with open arms, and, you know, they're all real cool, and I'm looking forward to getting the season started.
We'll have more on Reggie Jones and his journey to Ball State on Wednesday night at 9 on NewsLink Indiana. Going from the court to the gridiron, the Mid-American Conference getting ready to start their season in just over 2 weeks. The Cardinals are geared up and ready to hit the field. The first 3 of the Cardinals' 6 games will be aired on national television.
It's exciting. You know, watching all the other teams play throughout the fall was a little disappointing, but knowing that, you know, the MAC got on it and got on top of it and we're able to play now is exciting, and we're excited to be back and start playing football.
Ball State opening on the road against defending MAC champions, the Miami Redhawks. In their first home game, the Cardinals will host Eastern Michigan on November the 11th. Ball State will then suit up to face Northern Illinois at home November 18th. The time still to be determined. Sectionals are upon us for high school football, which means it's crunch time as teams are faced with win or go home scenarios. Let's take a look at where our local teams will be headed for their sectional matchups. Muncie Central staying home, taking on Connorsville. Newcastle facing the Shelbyville Golden Bears on the road. Delta holding a 6-2 record hosting Jay County, and the Yorktown Tigers taking on Crawfordsville. Eastbrook boasting an 8-1 record facing local rival Blackford at home. Monroe Central sitting at 6-1 traveling to Taylor, and the Westdale Warriors taking on Tri-Central. All games start at 7 on Friday night. For live scoring updates and the latest information from these games, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NLI Sports. And finally, tonight, Delaware County crowning 3 volleyball sectional champs. Starting off at Yorktown, the Tigers winning the sectional title after a year gap between its perfect 2018 season. Yorktown coming in undefeated, taking care of business. The Tigers, not the only team getting things done. Class 1A Cowan winning its 4th straight sectional, knocking out county rival Westdale. Now to Wapahani, where the reigning 2A state runner-ups looking to get another crack at the championship. They get things done. The Raiders getting its 2nd straight sectional crown. Now a quick check of where these teams are heading. Yorktown heading to Greenfield Central Regional, where they'll play Cathedral. For Cowan, they're off to Clinton Central to face South Newton. And finally, Wapahani facing South Adams in the Elwood Regional. And just really exciting that we have 3 teams from the county winning their sectionals.
Yeah, absolutely. We're wishing them the best of luck. Joey, thank you so much. And quick question for you. Are you tired of hearing the same songs over and over, Catherine?
All the time.
Yeah, I'm really hearing Dynamite by BTS, and we're going to talk about that and how one artist has you covered with a new album.
And we'll take a final look at your weather for the week. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Mackenzie Rupp. Mackenzie, what do you have for us?
Good evening, guys, and happy Monday. Tonight in trending news, John Oliver, the host of Last Week Tonight, recently visited Danbury, Connecticut to cut the ribbon at a sewage treatment plant named after him. This comes after Oliver went on a rant about the city in August. Danbury Mayor Mark Bowton offered to name the plant after Oliver, and Oliver said he would, and donate $55,000 to Danbury charities if he actually named the plant after him. Oliver's visit to Danbury was reportedly a surprise, but the residents are happy he visited. And speaking of surprises, pop star Ariana Grande is supposed to release a new album later this month. A few days after the Grammy Awards, Grande tweeted about how excited she is. She posted a mysterious video of her typing the word positions on a keyboard, leading many to think the album will be called Positions. Her website now has 2 countdown clocks, one that ends on October 23rd and another that ends on October 30th. That's all for trending news. Tyler and Catherine, back to you.
All right, Mackenzie, thank you so much. Natalie, one final check of weather tonight.
We have rain chances continuing this week and have chance for tomorrow and Wednesday as well. However, warm conditions for your Thursday with a high of 78. However, rain chances come back into the forecast Friday. Look clearing for this weekend. However, starting out next week, Monday, a high of 58 and another chance for rain.
All right, Natalie, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9. Have a great night, everyone.